Thanks for joining us on another journey, another experience of raising consciousness and doing grid work. One of the things that I wanted to explain was when I do grid work, I am feeling and I am seeing and I am experiencing all at the same time. This particular grid work that was done in Teotihuacan, Mexico at the pyramid site was very specific to connecting the energies of the pyramid of the moon and the pyramid of the sun. And also, it happened on a very sacred day, which was the autumnal equinox, which was September 22nd of 2025. One of the things that the indigenous people indicated to me that they would do in these particular processions of the equinox would be to walk the avenue of the dead barefoot from front all the way to the pyramid of the moon and then back the pyramid of the sun. And it's a pilgrimage. It is a sacred ceremony and is actually quite the emotional experience. So I'm sharing this experience that I had with you, and it was quite emotional at the end for me. And I didn't expect that at all. It's being in what I like to call a coherent state as you're doing this. And you might call that maybe a semi-trance state, but when you're really focused in with your energy, and not just, what you may seem as physical energy, but your spiritual energy, your energetic presence that comes from your heart. And what I was called to do is to bring these energies together on this very special day. So I traveled from my home in Northeast, went 3,500 miles south to Mexico to do this pilgrimage, to do this very specific work, to create a stronger energetic balance between the masculine and feminine energies. And as we move into this age of Aquarius, we are bringing more of that feminine aspect that is more prominent, more nurturing, more understanding, more compassionate. We're bringing that into balance with some of the very dominant masculine energy. So when I did this particular walk, it's quite the trek. So it's about 1.5 miles from the very beginning of the Avenue of the Dead to you make it to the Pyramid of the Moon, and then it's another maybe 1/2 mile back to the Pyramid of the Sun, and then a complete trip all the way around the Pyramid of the Sun, which is roughly, give or take, about 800 feet for each side. So that's about 1,600 feet. You can quantify that. It's probably just a little bit under 1/2 mile, maybe a little bit more than 1,600. But again, it's a few miles to walk barefoot. And the reason we do this barefoot is to create the exchange of electrons and energy as we get contact with Mother Earth. Now, it's also all volcanic stone, which you may say, oh yeah, that's great for your feet, kind of exfoliates. Yeah, that might be great for like the first 15-20 feet. But after you get in a couple of miles in, it becomes very different, right? So you're working through a discomfort that evokes something deep inside within you. And that's where the metamorphosis starts to happen, that change. One of the things that I will share with you was one of the things that came up for me. And it came up in a sense, not just for me specifically, but for the representation of the male gender. And one of the things that we carry with us is this innate aptitude for sacrifice. Men seem to sacrifice themselves for the benefit of others. And that was one of the feelings and the emotions that just was percolating and it was coming right up. And it was just a really emotional time that I could feel not just for myself, but for the entire male presence. So I want to share this trip with you, this experience, this literal walking on the volcanic stone around the pyramid site, and the little breakdown that I gave afterwards. I think it adds some meaning, and I hope that it invokes something in you, that you see that there's corrections being made, or not necessarily corrections. I want to rechange that word, but I want to say that there's balance that is starting to happen. And many people like myself are working towards creating that better balance for mankind, not just for the males, not just for the females, but for our entire species, our entire human species, because we are one and we are all.
Well, good morning, everybody, and today is the fall equinox. It's September 22nd, and I am again so grateful to be here in Teotihuacan, Mexico, here at the pyramid site, which I will be performing ceremony today to marry the balance between the pyramid of the moon and the pyramid of the sun. The pyramid of the moon represents the feminine aspect, and the pyramid of the sun represents the male aspect. And thank goodness my skin is a little bit better today, although I did bring my hat, so I am prepared for the day. It is gorgeous. There's many people out here today. There are people jogging, there are people getting ready to go to work, and there's lots of things happening. So what a wonderful day it is. I wish everybody a wonderful day, and I can't wait to share all of my experiences with you when I get back to the Northeast. Have a great day. Buenos dias. One of the things that you might be able to see off in the distance as I start to close the plaza, which is the Avenue of the Dead, that there are hot air balloons. Very, very beautiful. And I'm greeted this morning by many of the lizards as I walk through the different areas here. It's beautiful. It's Monday, so the tourists are not here. They're probably all gone home. But this again is synchronistic for me, because it allows me to really focus in on the energy of Teotihuacan and connect the male and female aspects on this very special day of balance. So I'm excited to do this for the planet, for humanity, and for everybody to embrace a higher level of consciousness. I walk in reverence, humility, honor, coherence, resonance, exchanging energy. I walk in remembrance. I walk in reverence. I walk in coherence. I walk in balance. I exchange the energies. I walk in remembrance. I walk in reverence. I walk in resonance. I walk in coherence. I exchange my energy. I walk in remembrance. I walk in reverence. I walk in coherence. I walk in resonance. And now I walk in balance. I've walked barefoot around the entire perimeter of this pyramid of the sun. And what I've learned through this experience, walking in reverence, humility, resonance, coherence, and energy exchange, it's quite emotional. It's the release of the sacrifices that we as men hold to make for others, for our loved ones. The pain in each step invokes that emotion of sacrifice, of what we give to serve others. And on this very day, it's about balance. It's about a release. And that pain comes from love. We do what we do as men because it's our way of showing appreciation and love. And we have to honor ourselves for what we do. The tasks that we take on, the energies we take on, and part of the true warrior is finding that vulnerability to talk about it, to release it, to let it go where it needs to go, to allow those energies to go back to Mother Gaia, and to pay honor to the men that walk in sacrifice for others in any way, shape, or form, that you too can achieve balance. The gratitude you receive is the gratitude that you give to yourself. In love and light. What I found really interesting was that speaking with some of the local vendors, they left me alone as they saw exactly what I was doing. They understood. And of course they can pick me out as an American or as someone of another country, clearly. But some of them came up to me and said, "You are very energetic. We feel you. You understand." And again, I am so very grateful for having this opportunity to come here to heal not only myself in some certain ways, but also to do that energetic grid work to help Mother Gaia, to help the consciousness of humanity. I am humbled and honored to be of service in this respect, and I take that as a badge of honor to accept that. And people may say, "Well, you're kind of weird, Glenn," but maybe I'm not so weird. Maybe I'm just a little ahead in my understanding of life and how it works, and how energy is such a big part of our coherence and resonance. So again, I am with great gratitude in being in this site and space today. I'm very grateful. I have a sense of completeness and gratitude for having the opportunity and getting here and doing the necessary grid work, the energetic work. It's been a wonderful experience, and many of the vendors here are local Teotihuacan. They call it Teotihuacan in their language, the way they speak it. They're very proud people, and they understand energy. They understand what these pyramids are for, and I'm so blessed that I've had the opportunity in my limited Spanish to communicate with them and understand more about the history and not only what the history is, but the energy and what this place still has to offer. If you ever have the opportunity, I highly recommend that you take the hour drive of East Mexico City and visit and spend some time in these magnificent structures of Teotihuacan. Have a great one.